y'all, welcome and welcome back to Black Desiderium. Today I'll be ranking some deaths from my favorite movies and putting them on a tier list. I got this idea from another YouTuber, so her video will be linked down in the description box, so make sure that you go and check her video out as well. This tier list will consist of 5 different categories. The first one,
love of God! For the love of God!
leaving me beyond distraught, beyond devastated. I feel like I lost a real family member, and I'm still not done grieving. The second one left me heartbroken and confused, but it didn't have me questioning my sanity like the first one.
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
I'm still hurt. But I'm kind of at the final stages of grieving, if you get what I'm saying. The third category didn't devastate me like the first two.
Damn!
But it still left me hurt real bad. It's like, dang, I just saw him last week. Or if it ain't one thing, it's another. The fourth category was sad, but the character either caused their own death or it was justifiable in some kind of way.
This ain't your baby. This ain't your baby. Ain't that some shit?
I ain't even.
So you can't even be mad or too hurt about the situation. You know, there's something, it still hurt, it sting a little bit, but you was doing too much. Category 5, it is what it is.
Like whoop-de-doo.
That person was either terrorizing everybody or just downright evil, and somebody put a stop to their madness. First up, we have Ricky Baker from Boys in the Hood, one of the most infamous deaths in hood cinema history, if you ask me. And if you ask mostly everybody, Ricky's death was the catalyst for all of these movies down the line. Y'all should already know exactly where I'm putting Ricky at on this tier list.
Love of God! For the love of God!
Ricky was a high school football player with a promising future. He grew up in the middle of gangland and managed to stay on the right path. He got accepted into his dream college, and after his death, his mother saw his passing SAT scores, which made the heartbreak 10 times worse. He was a young husband and a young father, and them people just took him away from his family. His son had to grow up in those same terrible environments that he did without a father. So we'll never know what path his son might have took. Ricky's death was completely unnecessary and senseless. And the way Trey was screaming at, "Ricky!" that lives rent-free in my head.
Ricky!
Since we started with Ricky from Boys in the Hood, we gotta go to Kane from Menace to Society.
This ain't your baby. This ain't your baby.
Ain't that some shit? I ain't even.
Now this death broke me to the core. I remember the first time I watched Menace to Society, I didn't want to go outside for days. Kane really could have been placed anywhere on a tier list, but when you think about it, he got his karma. He got Alina pregnant and disrespected her to the fullest. When her cousin tried to check him, he ended up jumping him, which resulted in his death. The only reason why Kane is not in my whoop-de-doo category is because of the effects that his death had on Ronnie and little Anthony's life. And also, Kane was a product of his environment, but let's be for real, he was wilding, he was doing too much. Since we're on the topic of karma, let's swing over to New Jack City and talk about the infamous Nino Brown.
Like whoop-de-doo.
Pure evil and greedy. He helped destroy his community, crossed his brother, and was arrogant while doing it. His courtroom speech about the government was the truth, but Nino Brown was guilty. And the justice system failed and let him walk free until the old man took matters into his own hands and put a stop to him. Side note, did y'all know that Bill Cobb's character's name in New Jack City was actually Old Man? That's another level of laziness. Y'all couldn't have named him Old Man Jenkins or something? Dang. Next up, we have Stevie, Stoney's brother from Set It Off.
Damn!
Stevie's death was the main reason why the girls decided to set it off. He made me so mad when he played about their college money that his sister had to sell her soul for. Plus, why you getting a hood that you're not from cut into your head? Peer pressure, I guess. But like the girl said, He not even from Acorn.
Hook him up.
He ain't even from Acorn.
Since we're on the topic of Set It Off, let's move right along to our next character, Cleo.
Love of God! For the love of God!
Cleo has the saddest and most dramatic death of cinema history. The way Cleo lit that cigarette and made up her mind that she was going out on her own terms left me speechless. They executed that scene perfectly. Queen Latifah, you did your thing, okay? Next on the list is Frankie from Set It Off.
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
Frankie was done the dirtiest. She was a friend out the group that did the corporate 9-to-5 thing. She put up with a lot of craziness on the job, and I'm sure getting hired at the bank was a long process within itself. For them to blame her for the robbery and fire her like that was insane. Frankie's "what's the procedure when you have a gun to your head" scene lives rent-free in my head. The roles were reversed, and Frankie could have pulled that trigger if she wanted to, but she didn't. You could see the pain and exhaustion in her eyes standing under that street light. Frankie was tired, and she knew she wasn't going to survive, but she turned around and ran, being shot in her back. So unnecessary. Vivica, the way she fell and we saw all that pain leave her body through those red acrylic nails. Cleo, Tashawn, and Frankie's death completely shattered me. I remember the first time I watched Set It Off, I was left speechless. That was another movie that had me in the house sick for a few days. Like, I couldn't do nothing. The next character on the list is Skip from Dead Presidents.
Damn!
Skip's death always stood out to me because it was so real. He came home a broken man after the war and suffering from the effects of Agent Orange. The government didn't provide any support for him, and he fell deeper into his addiction. The only good thing about his death was that he escaped life in prison. This scene also lives rent-free in my head. The police busting in the door, finding him, and Al Green singing on Soul Train on the TV. Chris Tucker, you did that.
I've been getting next to you, baby. See, sometimes I pull my arms out there.
The Hughes brothers did that too. That movie was a work of art. From the soundtrack to the ending scene, Lorenz Tate. I love Lorenz Tate. He did that. The next character is Radio Raheem from Do the Right Thing.
Love of God! For the love of God!
Devastated is an understatement. Radio Raheem's death broke me mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It was so uncalled for, and it just made me so mad. I was ready to find me a trash can and throw it through a glass window too. I love Spike Lee. Spike Lee is a genius. Speaking of Spike Lee, the next character is Gator from Jungle Fever.
This ain't your baby. This ain't your baby.
Ain't that some shit?
Growing up, I wasn't really crazy about the movie Jungle Fever, but the character Gator always stood out to me. He was heavy in his addiction, and he had no plans on changing. He would show up to his elderly parents' house and cause all type of trouble. His parents were played by the great late Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis. I love them. Gator would be all aggressive with his mother when she told him she didn't have any money to give him, and his father got tired of that. He told him leave his house, but Gator stepped to his daddy and did his last dance before his daddy blew him up out of there.
I made this one up just for you.
I paid a lot of money for these, honey. Take it, shut it. For God's sake, please go.
I'll pray for you, my son. Father, I stretch my hands to thee.
Since we're on Samuel L. Jackson, let's swing over to his character Louis Baptiste from the movie Eve's Bayou.
This ain't your baby. This ain't your baby.
Ain't that some shit?
He was a dog, cheating with all those women around the bayou, and then that strange interaction he had with his daughter that rubbed me the wrong way. Also, he caused his own death. Cheating. He decided it was a good idea to play in that man's face about his cheating wife and learned the hard way.
Speak to her, tell your territory. Nothing matters.
He really should be in a whoop-de-doo tier, but the effects of his death on his family makes me sad. Cicely had to leave, and I'm sure their family was never the same again due to his selfishness. Also, what are y'all thoughts on his death? Do y'all feel like voodoo played a part, or it was just caused strictly by his actions? The next character is Deja from Higher Learning.
Love of God! For the love of God!
Deja! I could cry right now thinking about her death. This was a girl just minding her business and doing what she needed to do. She was smart, she was a track star, she was always positive, and she was a supportive girlfriend to Malik. She tried to change his harsh views of the world about racism and all of those different things, and it ended up backfiring on her. The next character is Biscuit from Life.
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
Biscuit's character made you remember that, yes, life is a comedy, but this is serious. They're in prison day in and day out for a crime they did not commit. Biscuit found out that he was being released, and he told Ray that he didn't want to face his mother and he was scared of what society would think of him being a gay man in 1945. His death was so sad because it was unexpected. Everybody was dancing and having a good time, and then we see Biscuit running towards the gun line. The trustee didn't even want to shoot him. He was aiming towards his legs, but the guard up in the tower ended up shooting him.
Hold it right there! Don't do that! Oh, Biscuit! Come on, man! Biscuit! Man, hold it! Hey! Hey, come on, man! Shit!
The next character is Lyric from Jason's Lyric.
Love of God! For the love of God!
Now I know some of y'all's like, what? Lyric? She didn't die? But depending on the version of the movie you watch or where you watch it at, it doesn't show that last bus scene. So growing up, I used to have to tell myself, she lived, okay? Jason's Lyric is my all-time favorite movie. Lyric was just a small town girl trying to make something out of her life. She didn't bother anyone. All she did was go to work and come home. Dealing with her ignorant brother and his friends, she ended up falling in love with Jason, and they make a plan to move away. Jason's deranged brother wants Jason all to himself, and he decides it's only one way to make his brother stay. He ends up shooting Lyric and turning the gun on himself. Like, dang, brother, you that obsessed with him? You want him to be stuck in this little town where nothing is happening for him? I mean, they could have sent you a postcard. You could have came and visit or something. Dang. And like I said before, there's two endings. One where Jason is walking out the house holding Lyric's lifeless body, looking just distraught, pitiful, hurt, over with. And one where we get an extended version where we see them on the bus. So I always said that Lyric made it and that her and Jason lived happily ever after.
Nothing, man. I need.
The next character is Pookie from New Jack City.
Damn!
I know a lot of people laugh at Pookie's death because of how it was set up and it's Chris Rock, duh. But it always had me like, dang, Pookie had turned his life around, went to rehab, and started working with the police to take the infamous Nino Brown down. The police failed him by having him around his weakness, drugs.
What you, Bobo? Oh shit, his cover's blown. You gotta go get your gear. What you, Bobo? Take this boy outside and kill him. 3 times. Let's go to building. Got it, held up, let's
The next character is Alonzo from Training Day.
Like whoop-de-doo!
I never thought the day would come that I would hate a Denzel Washington character, but Training Day did that for me. He was an arrogant, dirty cop who abused his power, blackmailed the rookie cop to get dirt on him, and he was living a whole double life. He got exactly what he deserved. next and final character is Birdie from Above the Rim.
Like whoop-de-doo.
Like I said with Denzel Washington, I feel the exact same way about Tupac times 10. Anybody that know me know I love Tupac down, so his villain characters always had me conflicted. Birdie was a big bully and another arrogant drug dealer. The final straw was when he killed Flip. It was so uncalled for and so ruthless. So yeah, I might shed a little tear or two when I see Birdie get hit up because that's Tupac. But Birdie definitely deserved that. Side note, Above the Rim has one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Some of these deaths were traumatic while others were, I'll live. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my tier rankings down below. And let me know your rankings. Who do you think needs to be higher, lower? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.